I thought about the fact that when we study the Old Testament, when we look at the children of Israel, there's one thing we see about them. They made it a practice to give God the first, what was called the first fruits of everything they produced. Now, here's what I want you to understand. I'm not preaching a sermon today on money, so don't start squirming. But there's a principle that I want us to see here. It's called the first fruit principle. The children of Israel, whatever they produced, they gave God the first of it. But here's what I want us to understand. It wasn't just to give God, it wasn't just giving him his first, but it also represented their best. The important thing was that when they were giving something to God and they were presenting something to God, they were presenting to God the very best that they had. I'm here to tell you that I believe that God is challenging us in these last days that whatever we give God, whether it be our finances, whether it be our time, whether it be our service in his kingdom, that we are to give God our best. Come on, put your hand on yourself and say, my best. My best. I want to give God my best. I don't want to give God leftovers. I don't want to give God after, that's what David was talking about when David said, early do I seek the Lord. When David talked about seeking God early in the morning, the principle was that I'm going to give God that first. I'm going to give God his before I wear out today, before I give anybody else anything, before I give any time to anything else, before I invest in anything else. I'm going to make sure that I invest in my relationship with God first, because I want to give God my what? I want to give him my best. Touch somebody next to you and say, I got to give him my best. What happens a lot of times in our relationship with God is we get caught up in our jobs, we get caught up in schooling, we get caught up in friendships, we get caught up in all kinds of things, we get caught up in making money, and then we work and work and work and go after it every hour of the day. And then when everything's said and done, we try to give God what we've got left over. But God doesn't deserve that. God deserves my best.